little guy is in the special education program, and so we knew he was going to come to Gerner, and we heard about them having a pre-K, and so I enrolled both of them in school. I wanted Lillian to have the social aspect. We hadn't had that prior, coming to Gerner, and so our social interaction was very limited to play dates with our friends. And then COVID hit, and it kind of limited some of that. So when we came to Gerner, we've seen a lot of growth with both the kids.
So I think play is important because it's developmentally appropriate for these kids. Like, this is how they're figuring out the world. This is how they're learning in their environment. Like, this is how they discover all of these different things. And so play is natural.
I like Center's time because it allows the kids to just be themselves, and I watch their imaginations. The things that they come up with is just amazing to see. And I've gone into some other classrooms and watching them play, and I'm like, wow, I can't even believe that you have come up with this idea. And seeing that even happening in my own classroom is so cool.
I feel like in two particular areas, Lillian's grown since coming to Gerner. She's a little more confident in going up and talking and having that kind of back and forth play. She's also now kind of leads conversations, and so that's kind of big. And when we went to the playground prior, it was, following people around, or, you'll go up to somebody, say you want to play, and then it just doesn't take off, that kind of thing. So there was no follow through, and now I feel like she finally wants to kind of have that social interaction, and she's got that confidence. The other area is her imagination has really taken off. We see it in her artwork and in her play.
I have specific routines in place, and we start those routines on day one, and the kids know those routines. So I use sensory timers, I use just the sound of my voice or proximity with my kiddos, and they understand that, hey, when Miss C says there's 5 bubbles, I've got to watch the bubbles, and then I'm knowing that playtime is coming to an end, or when Miss C gives the 1 minute timer, or and so there's just different sounds that they're aware of, or they just know our routine, and so they know when I say it's almost time for music, that it's time to clean up. And so it looks like chaos, but it's not. There's specific routines that have been thought of and put in place for them to know.
Grayson's been in therapies for about a year with speech and occupational therapy. And then when he came into here, we've just seen little guy flourish. His speech has just really taken off. And we attribute it to the social interaction with his teacher, with his friends. He's just able to finally play a little bit more independently. He plays better with his sister. And so we're seeing that come home, and it's just amazing.
We've been doing so much professional development on developmentally appropriate practices and why play is important. My focus this year is on science and the importance of play in science. That's what I've been studying, and we've just learned that having the kids investigate themselves, they're finding out the why, the how, and they're doing that all in play. They're building a tower and then it falls over. Well, why did it fall over? And then they have to problem solve to rebuild that tower, rebuild that bridge.
Our littles here are still developing. They are not quite all ready for that academic content that kindergarten is getting ready to give them. So that scientific piece comes down to play. It's they're still developing in their brains, they're still learning their environments. We do a lot of body awareness in my classroom, and because they don't have any idea where their bodies are in space. So in order for them to be successful in kindergarten classrooms and beyond, they need to figure out just some of those social emotional pieces in their body space, in how to reenact with friends and how to do all of those fun things. So just kind of that developmental piece and where they're at, and learning kind of where they're at when they come to Gerner.